Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning, checking your phone, and realizing you earned more while sleeping than you did all last week. This isn't a pipe dream or a get-rich-quick scheme. It is the fundamental difference between surviving in the economy and mastering it. Today, we are diving deep into the battle of the century, active versus passive income, and how you can reclaim your time forever. Most of us were raised on a single narrative: go to school, get a good job, and work hard until you can finally retire. But as Robert Kiyosaki famously wrote in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the poor and middle class work for money, while the rich have money work for them. To understand how to break the cycle, we first have to look closely at the engine that drives most lives: active income. Active income is the direct exchange of your time, your energy, and your specific skills for a predetermined amount of currency, or pay. Think of it like a faucet. As long as you are physically turning the handle, the water flows, but the moment you stop, it dries up. This includes your hourly wages, your monthly salary, your tips, and even the commissions you earn as a high-performing salesperson. While active income is the starting point for almost everyone, it has one fatal flaw that many people realize far too late in life. That flaw is the ceiling of time. There are only 24 hours in a day, no matter how talented or hardworking you are. If you stop working because you are sick, or because you want to travel, or simply because you are tired, your income vanishes. This creates what many financial experts call the rat race, a cycle of earning and spending that requires constant physical presence to maintain. Even high-earning doctors and lawyers are often trapped in this cycle because their high lifestyle costs require them to never stop the grind. Now, let's pivot to the most beautiful phrase in the financial dictionary: passive income, the silent engine of true long-term wealth. Passive income is money earned from an enterprise or an asset in which you are not actively involved on a daily basis. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." This quote sounds harsh, but it is a fundamental truth of the modern world where inflation eats your savings every single day. Passive income is not about being lazy, it is about front-loading your effort now to reap the rewards for years to come. Think of it like planting a fruit tree. You dig the hole, water the soil, and protect the sapling for a long time. Initially, you get no fruit, but eventually the tree grows strong enough to produce a harvest every season without you lifting a finger. To build these money trees, we need to understand the four primary pillars of passive wealth that the wealthy use daily. The first pillar is paper assets, which include stocks that pay dividends, bonds, and various types of high-yield investment accounts. When you own a dividend-paying stock, you essentially own a tiny piece of a profitable company that shares its earnings with you. Companies like Coca-Cola or Apple pay their shareholders every quarter, regardless of whether those shareholders showed up to an office. The second pillar is real estate, a classic favorite for those who want tangible assets that appreciate in value over time. Rental properties provide a monthly cash flow that can cover your living expenses while the property itself grows more valuable every year. Even if you don't want to be a landlord, you can invest in REITs, which are like mutual funds for the real estate market. The third pillar is digital assets, which is the most accessible entry point for the modern generation of entrepreneurs and creators. This includes writing an ebook once and selling it 10,000 times, or creating an online course that teaches a valuable skill. Every time someone clicks buy on your digital product, the software handles the delivery and the money lands in your bank account. The fourth pillar is business systems, where you create a company that can run effectively without your direct daily management. This involves hiring the right people, setting up automated processes, and stepping back to become the owner rather than the operator. You might be wondering, if it's so great, why isn't everyone doing it? The answer lies in the concept of delayed gratification. Passive income requires an initial investment of either time or money, and usually it requires a significant amount of both at first. Most people would rather have $100 today than the systems required to earn $1 every day for the rest of their lives. but the math of compounding interest, which Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world, favors those who can wait. Let's look at the wealth gap and how active income earners can start crossing the bridge toward the side of passive freedom. The first step is to treat your active income as a seed. Do not eat your seeds, plant them into assets. Every dollar you earn from your job should be evaluated. Is this going towards a liability that loses value or an asset? A car is a liability that costs you money every month. A dividend stock is an asset that pays you money every month. Financial freedom is the moment your monthly passive income exceeds your monthly expenses. At that point, work becomes an optional choice. Imagine the psychological relief of knowing that even if your boss fired you today, your lifestyle wouldn't change for a second. This is the level of security that allows you to be more creative, more generous, and more present with your loved ones. However, beware of the passive income scams that promise millions overnight with no work. Real assets take time to build. Whether it is building a YouTube channel or a portfolio of index funds, consistency is the only secret that actually works. Let's break down a simple strategy. Save 20% of your active income and move it immediately into a low-cost index fund. Over decades, the growth of the market and the reinvestment of dividends will turn that 20% into a massive self-sustaining fortune. In the book The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel explains that wealth is what you don't see. It's the items not purchased. True wealth is the flexibility to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want. Passive income is the vehicle that drives you to that flexibility. Active income is just the fuel you use to start the car. Let's talk about the side hustle transition, where you keep your day job while building your passive engine at night. Spending 2 hours an evening on a blog or an automated Shopify store can change your financial trajectory in just 3 years. Many people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but vastly underestimate what they can achieve in 5 or 10 years. As your passive income grows, you hit tipping points where the growth begins to accelerate due to the sheer size of the principal. This is known as the snowball effect, where a small ball of snow gains mass and speed as it rolls down a hill. Eventually, the momentum of your investments becomes so great that the daily fluctuations of the market no longer bother your peace. You begin to look at the world through the lens of opportunity and ownership rather than just consumption and debt. You realize that the most valuable asset you will ever own is not a house or a car, but your own financial intelligence. This intelligence allows you to spot gaps in the market and create solutions that people are willing to pay for repeatedly. It allows you to understand the tax laws that favor business owners and investors over those who only earn a salary. In the information age, the barriers to entry for creating passive income have never been lower than they are right now. You have access to global markets, free education, and automated tools that were unavailable to the wealthiest people 50 years ago. The only thing standing between you and a life of passive freedom is the discipline to start and the courage to stay. Don't let the fear of not having enough keep you from building the systems that will eventually provide more than enough. Start small. Your first passive dollar is the most important one because it proves that the system actually works for you. Celebrate that first dividend payment or that first digital sale as if it were $1 million because it's the proof of concept. Once you know how to make $1 while you sleep, it's simply a matter of scaling the process to make thousands. Remember, the goal isn't just to be rich, the goal is to be free to live a life aligned with your values. Financial independence is the ultimate form of self-care, ensuring that your future self is looked after and your family is secure. We have covered the theory, the pillars, and the mindset required to transition from active labor to passive wealth generation. The path is not always easy, and there will be learning curves, but the destination is worth every single hour of initial effort. Look at your bank statement today and ask yourself, how many of these dollars are working for me right now? If the answer is 0, today is the perfect day to plant your first seed and begin your journey towards financial sovereignty. Thank you for joining me on this masterclass. Now go out there, build your assets, and start making money while you sleep.
Thank you for watching.
Subscribe to my channel and master the strategies needed to build genuine, lasting financial wealth, and I will see you soon.